Hello everybody, this is early bird race number 2 in Fremont, California, 2016. It's funny, those people barely got across the line and they blew the whistle. Last Sunday it had been a really slow start and I was expecting a slow start, and suddenly these guys just shot off the front. And yeah, so suddenly I'm like, whoa, we're up to 23 miles an hour. And then we were practicing cornering, and there was an acceleration right after this turn. And my goal this time was to stay back and not be punching up in the front. It's funny, at this point I had grabbed up on the wheel and there was a big break in the field. I could hear the moderator guys, the instructor, saying there's a big huge break in the field. So I would love input from some of the senior riders if this was the right thing to do to get up with this group and stay with the lead group. And there's quite a few of us, so I just went ahead and did it and jumped on it. And it was pretty fast the entire way through. We were 25 and a half, 26 miles an hour the entire race. It was a quick race. So anyways, now I'm in a wheel. This section right here, we were into a headwind. Doesn't seem to be bothering us too much. That means coming in back towards the start line or the finish line, we had a tailwind, which was nice. So anyways, if there's any of the senior racers, and would love your input. Was this the right thing to do? I really wanted to kind of lay back this race. My legs were sore. I had a hard week with my coach, 3 days of intervals, and then a long 3-hour ride on Saturday. And I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to keep up, but I just pushed through it. That's what you do, right? So there's my complaint, my whining, my excuses. This race was faster than the first early bird race that we did, and there was a lot of squirrely riding, a lot of jumping around, weaving side to side. Right now it's not too bad, but later on when we're in the pack, you can see, especially the guys who weren't there for the first race, I almost really wish that you couldn't just jump into any one you wanted. You had to stick through all of them to go, to go on and take any of the races. But anyways, 29 miles an hour in the first lap. But remember, we have a tailwind at this point, so that kind of helps. But as you can see, my watts were up pretty high. And again, any of the senior racers chime in and tell me your thoughts. Was I doing the right thing? Stay up with this group. And once again, I'm not trying to be up towards the front as much like I was the week before. I really wanted to stay back for at least half of the race before I moved up. I've only seen this one other time, and one of the things that I noticed, it was just so fast. And this is my second time racing ever. But we had a lot of line jumping. Suddenly you're behind somebody and you have a line, and then it changes, and then it's 2 lines, and it's 3 lines, and it's 1 line. So there was a lot of kind of going back and forth. One of the things I did here is I didn't brake. There was guys braking, and I just slid up and just let my momentum carry me through without braking. Just trying not to be in the wind. It was mostly a crosswind at that point. Now we're back into a headwind, and we've got 2 lines sort of. And so I get back up on this wheel. And these were really strong guys. It seems like everybody really came in and said, "Hey, I'm going to hammer." We had a nice easy pace last week, and let's have some fun. And at this point, I'm trying to stay back. I don't want to be up front, especially into a headwind. As it is, coming into this stretch, I mean, they were pushing really hard. You could see that my watts went up, and I know that's true for everybody else. And we were 2 lines, and now suddenly we're 1 again. And if you watched the first early bird race from the week before, you know, I was fussing a lot about the way I was riding through the turn. So hopefully I did better this week, and as we practice cornering. I wasn't accelerating in the turns, but it seemed like every time we came out of the turns, I mean, the guys up front would just push through it, and so if you wanted to stay on, you had to push through it. Again, senior racers, let me know if that was the right thing to do. There was a lot of surging, as you can tell. Should I stay with it, or should I just allow the surge to go up and then, you know, eventually catch back up once it comes back? Coming through, it looks like probably about just a tiny bit slower, but almost the same pace as we were through the first lap. So maybe the guys up front are getting tired a little bit. And we're moving to the outside so we can come in and take this next corner. And you see there goes the acceleration. Trying to get on somebody's wheel. Those bot dots suck. There's Phil up there in the Seabury, or however you pronounce his race. Really nice guy. Got a chance to talk with him again. Phil, if you're watching, glad you're watching. You got a chance to watch the first video and learn some stuff, as did some of the other ones y'all who have come in and watched the video. This turn was sketchy, and later on there was a crash, which I didn't get because I had moved up. I didn't get on the GoPro. But when we were going through these accelerations, and then we hit the wind and everybody slows down, so there's this accordion effect. And this guy on the left, I mean, there must have been maybe a foot and a half, and I had to, maybe less, I had to move over. That happened a couple of times. These guys would just come in and just squeeze. There's hardly any room to squeeze in. Hey, stay on your left, or on if you're coming through. You know, I think that was one of the things the instructors talked about. Was, hey, if you're doing something, I mean, maybe it's not too bad of a thing, but you know, communicate to each other. That guy almost hit me on the side. I'm not sure what he was doing. He missed something, and so I caught it out of the corner of my eye and just moved out to the outside. So, if anybody was wondering what that was. And luckily nobody was on the side of me. I was on the outside. And like I said, there was a lot of just kind of squirrely riding, and everybody kind of bouncing around all over the place. I did it too, so I'm not busting on people. But anyways, yeah, thanks some of the early bird racers who found the channel and got a chance to look at it. I'm glad you guys enjoy it. I'll be posting the next 2 races as well. I really learned a lot just going back and re-watching these and learning to watch body language of other racers when they're slowing down and speeding up. And looks like at this point I kind of got cut off to the side and I really don't have a wheel. There's the other Super guy. He was in the crash. Man, I hope you get better soon and you're a strong rider. Look forward to racing with you as the race season goes through. Brake lever punctured his forearm, I believe he said. There was a big crash in that headwind where everybody slows down and somebody slammed on their brakes and people just went right into him. Never slam on your brakes. Feather them. Try to go around. Just be really conscious of that. Especially when you're in a group and you're riding this fast. And once again, getting on the wheel. These guys in blue at the Alto Velo. Not sure if that's a sponsor or the name, but these guys were really strong riders. This whole group up here was strong. I think we were looking at 40-something to 50 riders again. And there's a group that's gotten away, so now we're closing the gap. I saw my watts, my power go up. Guys coming in on that side, and then it gets really tight. And there's actually a guy on the side of me, but at least there was more room that time. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but you can hear me feathering my brakes a little bit. When you're going 27, 28 miles an hour, and then you come into a headwind and everybody's slowing down, and there's people slowing down into the turn. We really could have taken that turn much faster, but you saw that, and we slowed down to about 22 miles an hour before that turn, so somebody up in the front was slowing down. And here we are coming into this turn. And while I'm thinking about it, you'll see on the last lap there was a lot of accelerations coming out of that, and it's a ways before you hit that finish line. I was really surprised that, and some of the guys held on and did it, so bravo. But it's a ways. It's easy to get excited to want to come around that turn and just get up and start sprinting and go full effort, but even at 30 miles an hour, it's like 45 seconds, maybe even a minute to the finish line. I'm still staying back. I'm not ready to start moving my way up front. And my legs are hurting. As soon as we kicked off from that first whistle and went, I was like, oh, it's gonna hurt. Of course, if this was a real race, I wouldn't have been working so hard that week, but my coach still wanted me to get my training done and just keep working. Coaches, right? If you're listening, Bruce, love you, man. So at this point, I'm comfortable right where I am. I'm getting my heart rate back down. There's a lot of little acceleration, a lot of little attacks. And then goes the acceleration into the turn, and then we hit that headwind. This guy in the green and black, also a strong rider. If you guys saw the first one, you remember him from last week. now that I'm looking at this, the pace has come back down from those first 2 laps where we were just full out. Well, not quite full out, but you know what I mean. Real quick. And we're slowing down again. This section really made me uncomfortable, and this is where one of the crashes happened. There were actually 2 crashes, and there was a pileup of a couple of guys. And once again, here we go slowing down. I mean, 21 miles an hour. Somebody was hitting their brakes up there and really slowed down the entire group. And we should really be able to take that without hitting our brakes. Coming back around, and I believe this is the lap where I decide it's just really squirrely. There's a lot of movement and shifting around, and I decided I didn't know if this was halfway through or not, and I just wanted to get up front and get away from all this. The guy up there in the neon green socks, I want to say that was the guy with the really cool orange shoe covers last week. So hey, I got a chance to talk to you. I forget your name, I'm sorry. A lot of really nice guys out there to race with. I'm trying to make my way on the outside. I believe I'm trying to set myself up to get around and get up towards the front. Just let my momentum carry me through here. I wanted to get a wheel. Yeah, this is where I start moving up and just start slingshotting around. Staying really close so I can get some of this draft. Looks like there's a little bit of a gap, so I found my opening and closing that gap. And I'm actually really happy that I went through here and got up front, because this is where the accident occurred, right behind us. It was pretty loud. You heard some brakes hit, and then just the crashing and smashing of carbon. So really sorry that happened. Like I said, I guess in this one there was another crash. I'm not sure what that one was about, but you can see we yeah, right about here we heard the crash, and we're all looking. A couple of guys are looking back, and we started slowing down. And they stopped the race for a while and had a chat with everybody. So here we are on the line again, getting ready to start again, and I believe we only did 2 laps. Can't remember. Might have been 3. And here we go. Off the line again. Quick acceleration, jump on somebody's wheel. There's another acceleration out of the turn there. And I think we're pretty much most of us decided to stay single file. It does start to break up a little bit, but I think everybody's being a little bit more cautious and conscientious after the crash. There's another acceleration out of the turn. I'm trying not to just slam into that and try to save my legs a little bit. And like I said, my legs are sore from the week. So San Jose, just my hometown, where I went to college, went to San Jose State University. And at this point, I'm happy to be on a wheel. Nobody's sliding up through the side this time. We didn't slow down into that turn. Sweet. We got back in there and closed that gap. Overall, I love your comments. I love what even some of the riders in the early bird races. You know, I love your guys' comments and what you felt, how you felt about the race, what you're seeing in the video. I'd love to get your feedback. I think there's so much to learn by watching these types of videos and watching ourselves race. You can see we're going 27 miles an hour. Yes, I got somebody's wheel, but we got that tailwind, so my watts aren't up too high. My heart rate is still down. This guy's out in the wind a little bit, and nobody's he's drafting him. Oh, there goes somebody in front of him. He's got a wheel. We just split up into two lines. There's another full acceleration out of the turn. Somebody coming up onto the outside. Guy's starting to move up. Looks like this time our confidence is up a little bit, and we're not single file on this side. I noticed this guy was pulling back a little bit. It was one of the things that I learned from watching the video over and over is watch when guys are starting to sit up a little bit or getting a little pooped out and get off of the wheel. Or else you can get swallowed up by the group and start having to make up that space there. And you're slowing down into this turn. Did it better last time. Here I saw an opportunity to move up a little bit. Just kind of slingshotted around some of those guys. I believe this is the last lap. get swallowed up by the group a little bit. It's okay, taking the time to recover and I leave. I start working to get out of the group just a little bit. Back here. I'm out in the wind a little bit. Hot dots. There's the last lap. So one of the things I learned from last time is if I want to be up, I've got to position myself towards the front for the last lap and just be a little bit more assertive and just get up there. And right here, I'm just kind of looking for a good wheel, trying to get up closer, because when we go into that headwind, it's going to get ugly. It's just harder. So I got this guy's wheel, and he's pushing through. Right on this guy's wheel, and I would love to go around and try to sneak through, but what I was just busting other people's chops for doing. There I go. I'm just trying to be patient. Got this. Then fill up front, I think it is. And the first early bird race, I really blew it in this turn. Got danced out a little bit. I was almost going to get Phil. Phil has always been really good about pushing through, and I saw him sit up a little bit and just went around. Don't do it! Don't do it! I don't know what the guy's name is in the green, but really accelerated through here, and it was too soon. Gave a lead out for the other guys, so that was great for some of these other guys. And right here, my legs are hurting. My heart rate went up. I think that's max heart rate. I'm not really sure what my max heart rate is anymore, but yeah, it's a lot. You can get really excited here on this last sprint. You see him coming back. He's gassed out. I mean, he's holding on. Champion, you know. But it's a long stretch, and we do have a tailwind.